Hello and welcome to my channel, Sam Hikes the World. Today I am covering day 5 of our trek across the West Highland Way in Scotland. We did it over 9 days, myself, my wife Christy, sister Cindy, and brother-in-law Eric. Day 5, we are finally I feel like into the Highlands. We have spent the first couple days getting to Loch Lomond, then a couple days walking along Loch Lomond. Today we start in Ardlui. We take the ferry back across Loch Lomond and we hike beyond the lake and up into more of the mountainous region. The total for the day, it turned out to be about 16 miles, and we went up about 3,000 feet in elevation. I know you'll read different things online about elevation. If I talk about elevation in my videos, I'm talking about the Apple Watch. Three of us had them. We all came in within a 20, 30 feet of 3,000 feet of elevation gain. A lot of sites show a lot of these days it's less elevation than the Apple Watch does. I've done a lot of hiking. It felt like 3,000 feet and it felt like 16 miles. Today was really, really exciting. I will say we saw so many amazing waterfalls, especially in the first half of the day. We've done 6-8 mile hikes in our life just to get to one of those waterfalls, and we saw them just, I guess 5, 6, 7 of them. Great big water chutes and falls and powerful water. I don't even think the pictures and videos that you're looking at really do them justice. They were really, really terrific and a really great part of the day. Another great part of the day is, if you watched my video on day 4, we slogged through the rain all day long. Well, day 5, we had sun. A beautiful sun early in the day, up till about noon. A couple small showers later in the day, but really, really a pretty good day. Really felt like we were out on our own. Saw a few other hikers here and there, but we really, you got away from things and you really could have expansive views, long views. We passed the halfway point of the West Highland Way, which was really exciting as well. At this point, we've kind of gained some level of confidence, having slogged through a really hard day the day before, that we were going to finish the whole thing. Not that we weren't going to finish it. We've always finished everything. Don't tell anybody. But we felt really good about it. Completely reborn today after yesterday's difficult journey through the rain. Another great thing about today, we went through a ton of sheep. We love the sheep. I don't know, I guess there just aren't that many sheep roaming around the United States. I certainly don't run into them. But lots of sheep, lots of lambs, very close to the trail. Just some beautiful pictures, and just even more just being kind of integrated in among their flock, it felt like. Did see a cool sign said not to pick up or hold the lambs, so okay, wasn't going to do that, but good advice. We also got our first up-close view of the, what were they called? The Highland cows. The Highland cows with the hair that hangs over their face. We'd seen them from a distance, but we hadn't really seen them up close, and this time we got a number of cool views up with those. Part of this trail's kind of funny. Sometimes you hike like right through somebody's land. As we got about, 3/4, 4/5 of the way into this trail, suddenly we were literally hiking through somebody's farm, past their barn, past their cows, walking down the road. It feels a little weird, and I wonder how they feel about just, 150, I don't know how many, 500 people a day hiking through their land. But that's where the trail went, so that's where we went. Hiked right on through it. And made our way to the town of Tyndrum. Today we actually went from Ardlui, took the ferry, and then hiked over to Tyndrum. Tyndrum was the biggest town we've been in probably since we started out the trail, but it wasn't quite what we expected. I will say, of all the places we stayed on the West Highland Way, Tyndrum Lodges was probably my least favorite. I kind of called it a Ramada Inn meets a trailer park. It's the only place we stayed that didn't offer a hot breakfast as part of their bed and breakfast in the morning. They gave you a bunch of cold items that night, and you stuck them in your fridge and whatever you wanted, and you could eat them in the morning in your room. So not to be all hoity-toity, but I didn't think that was as good as everywhere else we stayed. Unfortunately, we had rain that evening, and we had to walk to dinner. It also didn't have a restaurant in the hotel, which I think is the only place we stayed that didn't have that either. So we had to walk to a restaurant through the rain for about, 3/10, 4/10 of a mile, which wasn't a lot of fun. The restaurant was fine, and we had a good evening, but just generally wasn't my favorite place to stay. I don't know if there's better places to stay in Tyndrum or not, or how others have stayed there, but that was our experience. Overall, I would say that this was a very exciting day. Had good weather, great views. Felt like we were now, I know it's day 5, but now we're in the Highlands and we're out what I kind of think of as what the trail was going to be like. Just really enjoyed it, and really looking forward to the next 4 days where we will again spend that time in the mountains and the Highlands and hiking up and down and getting the views and all that. So remember to hit that subscribe button and join me in my next video in the next day or two while I'll talk about day 6. Thanks. Have a great day.